Wrestling. Oh my gosh, look, what is that over there? Is that Rob Van Dam and Brody Lee and Stone Cold Steve Austin on my shelf over there? Is that what you were saying? Is that what you were thinking? Segue. Let's talk about wrestling. I love wrestling. It's like one of my favorite things ever. Um, I don't watch it as much as I used to, and I say used to as in like a month ago, because this is past month. There's been a lot of stuff that's been going down, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to watch wrestling. But I used to watch Monday Night Raw on the weekly, and we used to watch SmackDown on the weekly. I especially used to watch AEW Dynamites every Wednesday. And there was a point where I watched Dynamite and Rampage and Collision every week because I was so into it. I was an AEW fanatic. Been to some of the shows, been to some pay-per-views. Um, I was all about AEW, man. Um, and it's such a shame to see the state of AEW it is in currently. WWE is currently killing it. They're killing the game. You got Cody Rhodes. You got LA Knight. You got Chad Gable doing his new heel turn gimmick. You got Rhea Ripley. She's on the sidelines right now, but don't worry, she's coming back. You got Dominic Mysterio. So many superstars. Randy Orton is still going strong. Kevin Owens. So many. Nia Jax is killing it. Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax. Believe it or not. I think she deserved it, to be honest. So many people are killing it in the game right now. CM Punk. CM Punk is back. One of my favorites of all time. I have an action figure of his right there, over there too. So many. Drew McIntyre. Everybody's killing it in WWE. Everybody's striving their best, pushing it to the edge. And don't get me wrong, there's people in AEW that always try hard, and people that still put on pretty good matches in AEW. That seems to be what it's kind of turned into now. I mean, I guess it always was about, hey, let's put on the best match we could possibly be. And I think that's how AEW got over in a lot of the ways. They won a lot of fans over. Moves you wouldn't usually normally see, antics you wouldn't normally see on WWE. Things that just wouldn't happen. Blood, chaos, carnage. That's what AEW has. WWE does not have blood or anything like that. It's not as extreme, not as violent, and I think that's what drew me, because I'm a big ECW guy. That's what drew me to AEW in the first place. I said, they can do that still? Cody Rhodes can take a headshot like that? Cody Rhodes can get lashed by a belt? Blood and guts? What's that? Anarchy in the arena? Oh my god, that's crazy. A lot of different kind of things. The extreme realm of wrestling really interest me, and I think that's what AEW really brought to the table well. And technically, they're still doing that to this day. They put on still some crazy matches, but again, that's all that they do. It's matches, and not as much storyline as there needs to be. There's stories if you really follow it closely and you really know the ins and outs of the characters and online drama. I guess there's stories out there, but it's more about matches. It's more about putting on a good match rather than telling a good story. And I think that's the problem when it comes to AEW. 100%, that's the problem. 100%. Because, I don't know, WWE, again, gonna sound like a broken record here. They're killing it. And, yeah, I hope the best for AEW. Because I used to really enjoy watching it. I used to enjoy watching it with my buddy. We used to watch it every week, all the time. We went to the shows. We went to this LA show at the Kia Forum last January, and it was a good time. The main event was in the ladder match between the Elite and Death Triangle. My buddy did not like the Elite at all, aside from Kenny Omega. And at the time, I was a big Elite fan. I'm not gonna lie, I liked him. The Young Bucks hadn't gone horrible for me at that point. I was a much bigger Kenny fan, though. Always have been, always will be. But that was a great match. And then we also went to AEW Revolution, which was in San Fran, which is a bit far from where we're located currently. So it was quite the big drive, and she drove it, and yeah, we had a good time there. Revolution was awesome. Still, maybe one of the best, if not the best. Well, it was the best wrestling show I had ever been to. And segue into WWE, because this year we also went to Philadelphia, WrestleMania in Philadelphia, night 1 and night 2, WrestleMania 40, the big 4-0. We saw LA Knight, Rhea Ripley, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, The Rock, Seth Rollins, Snoop Dogg, Undertaker, John Cena. Everybody was there. You name it, they were there. All the legends, all the stars were out tonight. I think T-Pain was there. I think T-Pain was in the audience, so that was pretty cool. That became my new number one. Revolution was probably the best wrestling show I'd ever been to, because the main event had that 60-minute Iron Man match between MJF and Bryan Danielson. I thought Bryan was going to win it. He came so close. I was like, we're going to have a new AEW World Champion, and it didn't happen. MJF won, and he continued to have a great title reign. It wasn't great till the end, or at the end, but hey, what are you going to do about it? But yeah, anyways, enough about wrestling. If you're not a wrestling fan, then you probably have no idea what I was talking about right there. I just love wrestling. I've been watching it ever since I was a little kid. And my favorites growing up were Bryan Danielson. I loved CM Punk. Loved Undertaker. And these guys were all still wrestling there full time. And those are like my top 3 in that era. I loved AJ Lee as well. She was awesome. But yeah, wrestling. If you don't like wrestling, don't watch wrestling, you don't understand it, I would say give it a shot. Give it a chance, especially now, because the wrestling is back booming again. And not saying that everything that is booming is a good thing. I think this is going to be controversial. I think Stranger Things had a big boom with their last season, and I just didn't really get it. I didn't really get the hype.